Hey everybody, it's Christina Bradley with Late Night Thoughts, and our topic today is going to be on pretty privilege. Sweetie just did an interview recently with Nick Cannon, and a lot of people have been talking about Sweetie, what Sweetie have said about pretty privilege and her pretty privilege, and a lot of people dismissed what she said. A lot of people started attacking her like they always do. And a lot of people felt like she wasn't understanding pretty privilege and, how her pretty privilege worked with her. And so this is what Sweetie have said. So I'm about to show the video what she said so y'all can hear it and then we could come back and have a topic, a conversation.
And there are some pretty people who do abuse whatever privilege they're given. But
There's
for me,
definitely pretty privilege.
right. But it's just like, but for me, honestly, throughout my whole life, me pretty was kind of like it was a way, it was kind of, how do I say this? It wasn't a privilege for me. I was
Mm.
judged. Rumors were made up about me. Um, and it was kind of always working against me. And it's just like, for me, I never thought of pretty as glamorizing my existence as a human being.
Mm.
So when I say pretty music, I'm not talking about your face. I'm talking about your aura. I'm talking about your energy.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
talking about your
You got pretty
self-esteem.
energy.
Yeah, ain't
All
nobody want no stank, ugly energy.
right.
So for me, starting off with the topic, Sweetie, acknowledge that there are a lot of people who are beautiful, pretty, who abuse their prettiness and abuse other people who will look at them and would take advantage of somebody else like that. And I saw comments of people were saying that she never acknowledged that happens, like things like that, or like acknowledged that she herself had pretty privilege when she actually said she do have pretty privilege. She felt that she did not experience the pretty privilege that y'all are trying to force upon her. She is saying that I might be pretty, not that I am pretty, but you don't understand what I've been through. I done got bullied. I done got made fun of. People started rumors about me. And it wasn't a walking in the park for me. For somebody on the outside looking in who might not consider themselves to be pretty or beautiful or gorgeous, whatever. Somebody who's struggling with those types of insecurities might look at a Sweetie and be like, shut the fuck up. Why you like shut up? You have it easier than me. You get to have friends or you get to date or you all these guys or girls just falling over you. Like everybody wants you. Like you have nice clothes, your hair is done. And so to them, because that's how they identify what pretty is these material things, and they see you look like exactly what a pretty person will look like, they feel like you don't have it as bad as them, or you don't have a terrible life because they assume if you're pretty, your life is wonderful. If you think this way, please stop. I don't know how many people that I have to personally talk to who thinks that way. Why do you just assume because somebody is pretty in the face or have like the ideal body type or have like all these luxury materialistic things that they ain't never been through nothing, that they must have it easier than you? Do you know their life? Do you know all that they've been through? You don't know none of that. So I don't even know why you just sitting there and assuming. That, my friend, is what's is called projection. When you feel like you do not look a certain way and somebody else look away and you feel like their life is better or easier than you and they should never complain or even be talking about or even acknowledging anything, that is called projecting. Because in your hearts of hearts, you believe if you look like that, you will have a better life. You will have all of the friends in the world. You'll be able to travel everywhere. You will have all the guys or all the girls on you, wanting you. No, that don't work. Prettiness can take you far, but it don't take you that far. It gets you in the door. It gets you to meet a couple of people, and yeah, but there's so many beautiful, gorgeous people out there in the world who career have not taken off. So can you sit there and say a lot of people have gotten through life because of their looks? Yes. Yes, but you can't say that every success that someone has is because of the way they look. Because if that's the case, a lot of y'all look really pretty and really gorgeous, but where y'all career at? Where's y'all success at? Where are the things that you considering to be that a pretty person have? Where is that for you? Does that mean because you no longer have those things or you never had those things, you're not considered pretty now? Pretty, and I agree with Sweetie. Pretty is not just based off of what you look like. And so I feel like anybody can be pretty. I really do. I really feel like when people get their hair done, hair cut, put on some fresh clothes, get the shoe, get the makeup, get the whole shebang bang bang. A lot of y'all could look really pretty. And I do agree when she said that a lot of the times when she said that prettiness, pretty privilege to her, and like prettiness to her, pretty energy is based off of your attitude, and I 100% agree. A lot of the time, a lot of y'all not ugly. A lot of y'all have ugly spirit, an ugly attitude. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to be around no depressed bitch. I don't want to be around somebody who want to be woe is me 24/7, who's sitting there talking about, oh, I hate this about me. I don't like this. Or I don't want to do this. I don't want. Oh no, I don't think I'm a look good in that. Oh no, I don't want this. I don't want that. You sitting there talking about all the things you don't want, but then you're attacking somebody who has the exact thing that you want to do. You would sit and talk about how you don't like what is something simple. You don't like your clothes. Something simple as clothes. You don't like your clothes. You feel like, oh, I want to dress better, or I want to dress prettier. I want to dress with more things, and look better too, because you see that's what everybody's wearing. But you don't want to buy it. You don't want to go get it and put it on. But then you will lash out at somebody who has it. There's a thing in the world called layaway. I have this one friend, and he talks about how he don't have a lot of clothes, and he want clothes. I told him about a layaway plan. There's so many apps out here on layaway that you can use, and I told him, hey, get some clothes off of layaway. Oh, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing no layaway. Don't nobody have to know you doing layaway. Like it's not like how it was back in the day in the 90s where there was a line, like there was an area that called layaway and you used to just wait in that line for a layaway. Now today you can just do layaway on your phone, and no, when I mean nobody has to know that you got this nice expensive thing for 4 payments unless you tell somebody. But I don't see nothing wrong with that. And I also don't like I also don't like when people dismiss what's a quote unquote pretty person have gone through. I don't like how a lot of people would sit there and say that, oh, it don't matter what you've been through. You have not been through worse than what I've been through. Why do we still continue to compare trauma? Why are we still comparing what you've been through versus what somebody else been through? It's not the same. It will never be the same. So why do you compare? You cannot you cannot, as a quote unquote basic person, tell somebody who you redeem look better than you, or society redeems they look better than you, that they have never struggled, that they have never been through anything in their life compared to you, and that they have never will truly experience anything because of the way they look. Who are you? Who are you to lash out on that? They did nothing to you. You have no right to, because in their mind you are their bully, and in your mind you're not doing it to be a bully. You might not you don't think you coming off because you are a bully. You don't think you coming off as a bully because your whole life you have been teared down because you're the basic looking one, or you're not that good looking, or I'm not the guys and girls first choices. There are a lot of guys leave me, or a lot of girls leave me because I don't look the part or stuff like that. They cheat on. Pretty people get cheated on too, y'all. Mhm. Pretty people die too. Pretty people be on drugs. Pretty people be homeless. Pretty people get fired. Pretty people be losing them kids. Pretty people be a lot of things. So I feel like if you want to acknowledge that pretty privilege exists and it works with pretty people, you should also acknowledge that pretty privilege also work against pretty people as well. Because there have been times when there are pretty people who do get bullied. They have not done nothing to nobody. They have not. They probably could just walk in a classroom, in an office, on the bus, the train, walking down the block. And because they are getting more attention than you or a lot of people, you assume they want attention because they're walking down the street. Everybody that they meet. No, I don't think it's fair to just assume that somebody's a hoe because of the way they look. I don't think it's fair to assume that somebody have a better life than you because of the way they look. I don't think it's fair to assume that somebody have never been through nothing because of the way they look. They could be a real nice person, and because you have it in your mind that, oh, they're pretty, they just gonna come in and try to do this and that. You probably could have lost out on a real good friend because of your insecurities. Yes, your insecurities. You cannot sit there and say society says pretty people. No, you have a mind of your own, do you not? Just because society said X, Y, and Z, and society says pretty people are snobbish, pretty people are evil or terrible people, they always trying to steal your man, they think they better than you. Um, what else they say? They basically just say pretty people are just terrible human beings. And if you believe that and you believe in that, then that's you. That's your thoughts and your own insecurities. Because you and it be those people. You the same person who would sit there and say, "Do not judge me based off of my looks. Do not judge me based off of the lack of expensive clothes I wear and my hair and my nails and my sneakers where I live. Do not judge me based off of the things that I lack. And society says that redeem me not to be pretty. Get to know the real me. You will like the real me. I promise you will like the real me. You're the same people, same ones who will sit there and judge a pretty person. Now, where they do that at? The same way you want somebody to respect you and like you for who you are as a person, you're the same person who would turn around and try to belittle somebody based off of their looks. Aren't you doing the exact same thing someone once done to you? Or you don't feel that way. You don't feel that way because they wasn't told they was ugly. I'm pretty sure they was. I'm pretty sure everybody in the world have been told they're ugly. Just because you redeem them to be pretty, don't mean someone have not told them they're ugly. There are a lot of pretty, gorgeous people in the world have been told they've been ugly. They have, and that's fine, and that's fine, and you cannot take away their experience. And it's not fair. And it's also, again, it's also not fair for somebody who is pretty, who do know that a lot of people will like you based off for your looks. Like it don't, you could have a terrible personality. You could like, you could do so much dirty stuff to somebody and they still will like you and want to be around you and date you and all these things and be your friend based off of your prettiness because there are when you are pretty, there's a certain amount of power. It ain't that powerful, goddamn. I don't know why people's making it seem like it's like the biggest power of them all. But there is a lot of opportunities somebody can get while being around somebody who's pretty. You could get a lot of recognition. Um, you can go places, go to more parties, go hang out more, get to know more people. But you can also do that if you're basic. A lot of the times, y'all just don't have confidence. And I say this all the time. A lot of the times, especially in today's society, a lot of people is scared to level up. And when I mean level up, I mean a lot of people is scared to change their hairstyle. Because in today's society, you change your hair, you hate yourself. A lot of people is scared to go to the gym. You go to the gym, you hate yourself. A lot of people is scared to get surgery because if you get surgery, you hate yourself. A lot of people is scared to change their outfits and the way they're dressed because if you do, who the hell is you impressing? You hate yourself. And a lot of and especially for a lot of females, a lot of women, we we definitely get criticized a lot for our appearance and stuff like that and there's a lot of times a lot of us we be like, okay, I want to do this, oh, I think this is pretty, I want to do that, but you do these things, you get attacked because you will have people who will support you, but you will always have more haters than you do people in your corner, so just always remember that. And you would sit there and you would change something and it's not serious, like it's literally like an outfit change, like you could be wearing a sweater and some sweatpants and some sneakers and like tomorrow you like, okay, I want to put a dress on and some heels, and there's going to be people who's going to be like, oh bitch, you doing this for attention, oh, who you trying to impress, why are you trying to impress them, why are you like that, why can't somebody just put clothes on and want to look pretty today or cute today or just want to dress up? Why does it have to be for an attention or for somebody else? I don't like that. And a lot of people do have that fear. A lot of girls have that fear that if I do this, people going to think I hate myself. And because a lot of people do care what society thinks of them, they don't do it. So now they're stuck being miserable and being bitter because they care what other people say, and they don't want to change the way they look or anything because they don't want to be called out. And if you have friends like that is going to call you out because you might wanted to get some nails today, stop being friends with them. Why are you mad? Because your friend want to get their nails done? Even if family members, like it be like this, the simplest thing. What you mad for? Why is it that it automatically go into hate? Like it automatically go into hate for what? Like, come on, stop. And and because of that, they tend to attack somebody who do have it, and they tend to attack people who they consider to be pretty. Um, again, I also don't agree with people just blaming um pretty successful pretty people success based off of just their appearance. I understand, again, like I said earlier, that pretty pretty privilege will get you through the door. If you're pretty, a lot of people will listen to you. I think we all is aware of that. Like if you're pretty, people will listen to you. Um, but again, you're not going to have that much success. You have to work hard. Like you can be pretty and work hard too. Like again, you might not like it. And you might not see the hard work somebody is putting in, but you do not become that successful in life just based off of your look. Because there's a lot of people who are considered pretty, beautiful, gorgeous, who aren't successful, who aren't as successful as they should be. But then a lot of people would be like colorism play a part in that as well, which that also can play a part in that as well. But you also have to remember you are buying their stuff. You you're watching their things, you're buying their music, you're watching their movies, you're supporting them. A lot of them are not doing that because of their skin complexion. Now, would you have a couple of people who, like somebody just because of the way they look and stuff? Yeah, I think that's everybody. I think that's every successful person in the world. There's somebody that basically just like you just because of your look. Like they don't care what you do, what your career is. It's just your looks. But there are people who generally like the person for them, like their personality. And a lot of the times when you have this hatred in your heart, you can't see that. You can't see how anybody can like somebody like Saweetie. Like there are people who can't believe that anybody like her music. There are people who can't believe that people go to her shows. There are people who can't believe that she's charting. Like people can't believe this because in their mind they like her songs is trash. They don't like her music and they just can't fathom how she's still here. It must be her looks. Unfortunately, people like Saweetie. Unfortunately, people buy her songs. Unfortunately, her songs still be charting. It might not be all the way up there, and that might be, but it be on the charts. It be on the charts for a while. So there are people who do listen to and support her, and a lot of the times it's not because of her looks. It's more than that when you invest your money in that. And I think we need to get out this habit that if somebody look a certain particular way, and if you cannot relate to their music, it's not automatically because their looks. I remember somebody said that to me because I love me some Nicki Minaj. The queen. Period. Period. And somebody who did not like Nicki Minaj because the bitch did not like her, told me I only like Nicki Minaj because she's light skinned. I said, when have you ever heard me bring up her skin complexion? Not never, not ever in my life. And I was just like, what? Like, I said that to her. I was like, where are you getting this information from? Because I've never spoken of her skin complexion ever. And she's like, yes, you do. That's why you listen to her because of her skin complexion and her body. I said, child, honey, no. I listen to her because she's the queen. She's the girl. Her music is good. I like her music. Why can't it be that I like your music? Why does it have to be because you think people like somebody because of what they look like and you think they're pretty and other people think why can't it be like I just like music, I just like them, like I like their work, like I want to go and invest my time in people that I enjoy. If I enjoy you, I'm going to spend money on you and enjoying your content so you can still continue to make more. Why is that your first option, the first thing that pops up into your head? Why is that it? Hmm? Why is that the first thing that pop up in your head? I don't agree with when Nick Cannon asks Saweetie, how can basically ugly people, can love themselves, feel pretty, feel beautiful and stuff like that. And my first thing is what? Sweetie can't help nobody. And then Sweetie, she said what she said. She said that it's more about self, like self love. And yeah, you need to love yourself in order to feel beautiful and confident, and all these things. You must love yourself, and a lot of y'all don't. I think a lot of y'all don't understand the word self love. I think a lot of people just think self love is I don't hate myself. That's what I think. That's just the words. Like they just say, "Well, I don't hate myself." Baby, self love is more than that. Self love is more than saying, "I don't love like I don't hate myself." Self love is more as in you treating yourself well. A lot of y'all mistreat yourself. A lot of y'all talk down upon yourself. A lot of y'all look yourself in the mirror and y'all tear yourself the fuck down. And then you get mad if somebody tear you down. Stop tearing yourself down. How you gonna get mad at what somebody else is saying about you and you saying the same thing to yourself? Stop it. Stop. That's why it affects you. It affects you because you believe everything that they're saying out their mouth because you say it to yourself as well. If you quote unquote love yourself the way that you claim, ain't nothing nobody can say to tear you down because you're gonna be like, bitch, what? Bitch, who? Who? What? When? What? And how? Like, no, that's not gonna happen. So for me, self love is more than that. It's also what you eat, the stuff you put in your body. Okay, because the stuff you put in your body, if you eat a lot, a lot of black and brown people do. We eat a lot of junk food. We eat a lot of outside food and stuff that's not good for us, that makes us tired, that makes us irritable. It's not good. So we need to change our eating habit. That's also a part of self love. Doing activities, do expanding yourself, not staying in certain areas. Branch out. Is also traveling can also be a form of self-love. Doing something other than being around the people you be around, being around the environment that's not good for you. Because if you're around in an awful place, then how you gonna have better energy? How you gonna have positiveness coming coming through and giving you the things you need to push yourself? You're not, and a lot of y'all need to change the people you're around. You cannot try to grow and try to love yourself and be around nasty people. If you're around if you're around people who talk down on people, and if you participate in talking down on people, like that's all you do all the time, stop. 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 That's terrible. You're an awful human being if you do. If all you do is sit down and talk about what somebody look like, what they're wearing, who they with, and all this, and this is all you do basically all the time, you get no enjoyment in the world other than talking about somebody. Stop. Stop, because that is a reflection of how much you hate yourself. You cannot say you love yourself and all you do is sitting there focusing on another person all day, every day. That's not love. You can't love yourself but focus on somebody else all day. No. That's not how that works. And and you need to change who you're around, the people around you, because a lot of the times, if you was to stop dating the person you're dating or hanging out with the friends that you're hanging out with, you will feel better. That's dead weight. Okay? Have you ever experienced that before? Like you just cut somebody off and you just feel so much better. You're not stressing no more, cause stress be having a lot of y'all looking crazy. A toxic relationship be having a lot of y'all look like y'all been through it. And a lot of the time, it's just if you cut them off, I promise you, you will feel better and you will feel much happier. And the happier you are, the more you can love yourself the way you need to. Again, self love is just not what you look like. And I just want that to become clear. It's not just your appearance. And again, a lot of the time, it don't even have nothing to do with you being basic, because from my knowledge, being basic ain't never stopped nobody from getting married. Being basic ain't never stopped nobody from falling in love. Being basic ain't never stopped nobody from having children, having families, going on vacation, meeting quote unquote rich people, going, being basic ain't never stopped nobody. So I don't understand the whole concept of basic, like, oh, if you're basic and ugly, nobody wants you and you're gonna be alone, and people who's prettier have a better life than me. Stop. No, 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 no. A lot of y'all have ugly attitude. That's it. That really just be it. A lot of the time, y'all hate yourself so much and y'all insecure so much that you project your insecurities onto other people. Again, don't nobody want to be around somebody who all you do is talk about people. Don't nobody want to be around somebody when mm, excuse me, if you're that friend who, because there's a couple who have no problem. They have no problem with you. They don't never say nothing to you. Like they do uplift you, because you do have friends that will uplift you and stuff like that. But a moment they get around a guy or a girl, they different. That's when they start tearing you down and they start criticizing your clothes and your hair and stuff. Leave them. Leave them, because if a friend's supposed to be a friend and she couldn't tell you she didn't like the way you look and yada 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 because she thought that you was gonna make her look better, and she feels like she's around somebody that look better than you, and now all of a sudden she done changed, drop the hoe, just like this, cut, snip snip, drop her, because you don't need that around you, especially for a person who's trying to like feel better about themselves and try to grow and find self love. Because self love is a journey. It is a journey. And it's a journey of within yourself. Can't nobody, and I mean, can't nobody make you love yourself. And the idea that a lot of people blame other people for why you don't love yourself, stop it. At a certain point in life, you must take accountability for how you see yourself. Now, if you're talking about how other people see yourself, then yes, now you can now you can sit there, well, this person said that, no, said that and that about you. But when it comes to how you see yourself, it is you. Nobody else is you. So you have to hold yourself accountable of all of the negative things that have been said about you. And no, is if your self love journey is going to be easy? No. Sometimes it takes a while for people to genuinely find their self love, to genuinely find themselves and actually come into peace with their self. Stop caring. And then when people hear that, a lot of people be like, well, everybody cares. Everybody do not care about what everybody thinks. There's a difference between I care what I think and I care what somebody else thinks. Those are two different things. Those not the same thing. And I know a lot of people like to merge the two. The same thing with the bonnets. A lot of y'all, a lot of y'all was getting on my nerves with the bonnets. Why you care? That's one thing I will always say. Why you care what somebody else is wearing? Huh? Is it killing somebody? Is it affecting somebody? Like it's not a danger to society. So I never sit there and was just like, well, I grew up being taught that you must look presentable. Yeah, oh well, they didn't raise in your household, so they wasn't forced that upon them. So you can't sit there and get in your feelings because they wasn't taught how you was taught. Maybe if you wasn't taught that, you would sit there and love yourself more. You wouldn't sit there and criticize yourself as much. You wouldn't sit there and judge everybody because you was forced to look presentable 24/7. And that ain't all of them, but that's the most of y'all. And you cannot force your way of how you grew up onto somebody else because you care about looking presentable. A lot of the time, presentable for what? Because then that for me, I go into where the fuck is they going? Like presentable. You have to look presentable to go into the bodega. I didn't know there was a dress code for going to the bodega. As long as you have clothes on, go to the bodega. Again, presentable on the bus. Presenting what? What for? What? You're on a bus, a dirty ass bus. Presentable for what? As long as you have clothes on, what? Going down the block, the, presenting what? Like, cause I'm just confused. The what you gonna call it? The airplane, the airport presenting what? Like, y'all acting like they going to a job interview in a bonnet. Exactly. Like, come on, like, why y'all acting like that? Why y'all acting like they out here going to work in their bonnets? They not. They going down the block. They going to somebody's house. So I was confused on people being in their feelings over a goddamn bonnet. Because last I heard, I thought it was a woman should wear whatever she want when she want, and nobody shouldn't have nothing to say. But when it comes to bonnets, a lot of y'all have a different opinions. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, because I saw women attacking women about bonnets. Hmm. But the other days, it was, oh, I should be able to wear what I want to wear. If I want to wear eyelashes, because after the bonnets, it was something about eyelashes, I remember, and people was like, mind your business. If I want to wear my eyelashes, I can. It's not ghetto. It's not ratchet. But bonnets are. But bonnets is ghetto and ratchet. But long ass eyelashes are not ghetto and ratchet. Again, wear what you want to wear. That's what I would say. And another thing I will always ask, who told you these was ratchet things? Who put, cause that be the real thing. Who told you that was ratchet? Hmm? 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 Cause who said that was ratchet? And why do you take what they say as word? Aren't y'all grown? Aren't y'all old enough to make your own decision and determine what you consider to be ratchet or not ratchet? But why, if these things, how I never understood it. I never understood it. How's that ratchet? And where did you get that doctrine from? Who told you it was ratchet? Mm-hmm. And it's 50-50. Well, I would say in the community, a lot of people would say, well, I got it from white people. White people have always called us ratchet and ghetto. But who was the majority attacking you? Was it white people or was it black people? Because I saw black people, the majority of black people attacking the black girls that was wearing the bonnets. Have white people started, the ratchet and ghetto, what is presentable and not? Of course, they started that. But who's finishing it, huh? Who is the one attacking people, huh? Who's the one and people DMs and people comments and all their pictures and all of that? Who is doing that? Exactly. Change it, change it, change it. Everybody should be able to wear what they want to wear and not have angry people attack them, because you are angry if you're attacking somebody verbally. Verbal, yes. If you take your time and energy to go to somebody and attack them and physically, like verbally say this, that, and the third, and everything on them about what they look like and stuff, and how, oh, I would never, I love myself too much, I respect myself too much. Bitches are bonnet. Bitches eyelashes. It Yeah, acting like it's changing the world. Like it's so life changing. It's not that deep. It's never that deep. It's never that deep to care all so much what somebody is wearing. Like as long as they're not being revealing of showing like body parts and stuff, then I don't see anything wrong. I don't see anything wrong. Wear what you want to wear. And that also go for the pretty privilege thing again. And my basic conclusion on pretty privilege is pretty privilege exists, yes, but it can work for you and it can work against you. And it both can be true at the same time. And yes, there are people who do get bullied because they're pretty. Just because somebody is pretty does not mean they are excluded from trauma. They are excluded from bad things happening to them. So don't sit there and project your insecurities onto them because you feel like their life might be easier and better. You don't know them. You're not with them. You don't go home with them. You're not experienced what they experience. So the next time you see somebody who look quote unquote pretty, and they're probably on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and they talking about how they might feel sad today or something, don't go over there saying, "Well, you're pretty, shut the fuck up." Oh, you don't know what struggle is, shut the fuck up. No, don't do that. Because that's just showing your insecurities, and it's showing um your hatred in your heart. Learn self-love, all of y'all. They don't matter because again there are people who are pretty in society that feel ugly. I think the world we live in, that the majority of people believe that pretty people have no insecurities. A lot of the times, because we are the world we are, that we look at people and we judge them based off a look, they would be like, "Why do you hate yourself? Like, why are you insecure? Like, oh my God, like everybody wants you. Like, I can't understand. Like, what's wrong with you?" And when you talk like that to somebody, you dismiss their feelings, and they probably wanted to talk to you or probably wanted to speak, and you just tearing them down even more. And talking about, you should be grateful that you look this way. If I look like you, then I would be this and I'd be happy. But you sitting there being miserable. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, come on, like you look good. Like, pretty people can feel ugly too. Like feeling ugly about yourself does not apply to only quote unquote ugly people. Like, I don't know why people feel that way. Pretty gorgeous people, handsome people feel ugly too. They feel insecure too. They don't even like what they look like as well, and they do want to change. That's why there's a lot of people who are quote unquote pretty get surgery in their face, and a lot of people be like, "Why did you do this? I like you better the way you was. Why would you do that?" Because they didn't like it, and because they want to. Just because somebody is pretty to you don't mean they're pretty to themselves. And that is when projecting come and play a major role in it, because you can't understand, like deep in your mind of mind, you see somebody who look better than you or prettier than you, and you're like, "Why you hate yourself? Look at me. I hate myself. I wish I looked like you, and if I look like you, all of my problems will go away." So I am very confusing on why you don't like yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop, stop, stop. And for people who are pretty and do take advantage of, their prettiness, that's not a good look. That's wickedness in my eyes. That's my opinion. And prettiness fades. I want everybody to know that. I just want everybody to know prettiness fades. Like, when you're young, yes, you look good, you're young, and then you get older, you still look good, and then the older you get, you're most of us are not going to be looking the way we was looking in like our late 20s, because unfortunately a lot of us are doing drugs and alcohol. And yes, that plays a major role on what you look like when you're in your 30s to 40s to 50s. Yes, I know when we're young, we don't have that responsibility. I also would say, in caring, because while I've been doing that for a couple of years, I still look good now, baby. It hit you. You see when you get up there in your late 20s, your body start aching. Parts you ain't never knew you had. You like, what's this? I'm telling you, you start seeing things and you just like, whoa, goddamn. Yes. and it will hit you, and your looks fades. Your body fades. I don't care what nobody said. When you get older, you just get looser. A lot of people just gain more weight, and I know in society they hate that. Like they attack people. They attack Will Smith because he gained weight. That's a whole nother topic because I thought y'all trash for that. He old. I don't like when you old. You should have the free spirit to just don't give a fuck. I feel like you shouldn't give a fuck at all. But I especially feel like when you old, don't you should not care. Like why you care what an old person look like? That's just my opinion. But a lot of the times because we mistreat your body, that's why I also said self love is also a part of what you eat and you consume because you put all these stuff in your body and it will affect when you get older. Your face change, your hair change because sometimes a lot of people get hair loss. That's a real thing, and a lot of people gain weight and stuff like that. So eventually, the quote unquote prettiness that a lot of people is drawn to you, it goes away, and I would say 7 out of 10, it fades away. Now the rest of the three, they are at the gym. They are keeping their body tight. They eating healthy. They doing activities and stuff. But a lot of the times, no, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And when you get older, you're not going to have that quote unquote pretty privilege that you had, that you was able to manipulate and to like control or to get what you want. Eventually it fades. Eventually you're not going to have that opportunity anymore, and a lot of your youth was wasted because you was too busy taking advantage of that. So I will always say is, you don't, because you're pretty don't mean you have to be mean and rude and like rub it in somebody's face that you're prettier than them and make them feel low about themselves. You don't have to be an asshole. It's a choice to be an asshole. It's a real thing. And and if you have been a victim of somebody who have bully you because they look better than you and they try to make you feel belittled, a lot of the times they also insecure because again, in society people don't believe pretty people are insecure, but they are. And a lot of the times they are insecure about whatever they insecure, and they see you as something um as an entertainment. It could be like, again, it could be 50-50. They just see you as something to laugh at, or you can do something that they wish they can. Because again, insecurity isn't just what you look like, it could be what somebody can do. You can be smart and they could be insecure because you're really smart and they're not. They could be insecure that you know how to draw and they can't. Like it really do be the simplest things, but I know in society we automatically assume it's the looks. But again, it could be something else. Like you could be way more intelligent than they are and they just insecure. And I would sit there and say, the moment you love yourself, the moment those words of somebody like that would never affect you. Like it won't affect you. Like you'd be like, okay, whatever. Okay. I love myself though. I'm not crying at nighttime. When I go home, I'm not in the bed late night crying. I'm not looking in the mirror, hating what I look like. So you keep talking. Okay. And that's probably all at the moment that I have to say about pretty privilege. Again, there's so much to say though. Like it's so much, but I feel like I'll probably bring it up again in my next late night thoughts, because I do also want to talk about the black community of the whole situation between light skin versus dark skin, and they exclude brown skin when we all still black at the end of the day, and how not only colorism play a part, but the prettiness privilege also play a part in those groups as well. So I feel like pretty privilege is something that we're going to be talking about for forever and a day. They definitely was talking about that forever, you know. So I feel like this is going to be a never ending topic in life when it comes to pretty privilege. I would just say we can make it a positive thing. Like, it don't pretty privilege don't have to be negative. So let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with me, or do you not agree with me? Do you think I was doing too much? Talk about your experience. Have you ever experienced pretty privilege? Have someone experience pretty privilege? Have you been a targeted of pretty privilege? Like, have you been bullied because you've been pretty? Have you, as a pretty, quote unquote, pretty person, have you target somebody because they didn't look the way that you feel like people should look? So let me know. Thank you. Like and subscribe. You don't have to subscribe. I just say that. I don't know why I said that. You don't have to subscribe to the video if you want to. And put questions down below, and I will answer all of your questions. Thank you.